Really like how you participate this topic so far. Okay, now let's proceed to the point of view. The vantage point from which the author presents action of the story. Who is telling the story? It actually asks you, who is telling the story? We have first person. A character speaks directly to the reader and refers to him or herself as I. This allows readers to experience the thoughts and emotions of the main character. Now, for the second point of view, the narrator is speaking to you. This isn't very common in fiction unless the narrator is trying to talk to the reader's personality. And the third person point of view, we have a narrator who is not a character and refers to all characters as he or she. This allows readers to experience thoughts and emotions of several characters. Just think about point of view is what you see of the story but in a writing form. First is first person using I, second person you, and third person he or she. Next, we have the mood. It usually asks you what emotion is the writer trying to make you feel. Is it happy? Is it sad? Is it gloom? Is it grief? Is it excited? Any kind of mood. Now, the atmosphere or feeling that runs through a work of literature, writers create mood usually through their choice of details and description. Now, if you're a writer, you can choose what kind of mood you want to apply in your writings. For me, I like dark themes. Means I love horror themes, sad themes. I don't usually write happy or love types of mood. Now, mood and theme usually it interchange. But remember that mood is usually through their choice of details and description. It is very detailed and the description is vivid. Now, next we have foreshadowing. Foreshadowing usually action or mood to prepare the reader for something that will happen later in the work. Author leaves hints for the reader. You may think of them as clues as to outcome of the story. Usually, foreshadowing are hints or clues for you to take a glimpse. Meaning, it is the events that will happen sooner or later without specific details. It is foreshadowing. Say, for example, in the story of the movie Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, from the first minute of that movie, Harry dreamed about his greatest rival, Voldemort. Now it's very little detailed on that scene, and then at the end of the movie, it really did happen that Voldemort, together with his alliance, regained their power, and he back to the Hogwarts and Wizarding World. Now we move to flashback. Flashback usually is the contrary of the foreshadowing, an interruption of the action in a story to tell about something that happened earlier in time. I told you it is contrary because in flashback, it's the clues and the hints before the stories, but flashback usually happen It usually happened earlier at the time. These are these are the action that talks about the the past of the story. Now, let's proceed to the irony. I want to read it by Mr. Jericho. Okay, you may now take your seat. A contrast between what is stated and what is really meant, or between what is expected to happen and what is actually does happen. Now, irony, simply look at the picture. It is covered with mask, meaning it is not the reality. It is just a cover of what will gonna happen in the story. Irony, it is the events where it isn't reality. It is the things that will blow your mind because you were tricked by the author of using this irony. Now let's proceed to the last literary elements. We have symbol. Now, symbol, any person, place, or thing which has meaning in itself, but which is made to represent or stand for something else as well. Now, for example, in the Harry Potter series, what is the symbol? Of course, it is a story where witchcraft and wizarding world are conducted, and of course the wand is the symbol. Now, for the other stories you've read, what are the symbol? I want to ask Miss Hazel. Okay. Okay, well explained. Thank you. You may now take your seat, Miss Hazel. Very good. For the necklace by Guy de Maupassant, of course, it symbolizes what? The necklace. And the meaning of the necklace is irresponsible because the main character lose that necklace, and then he repay for it with dollars, not knowing that the necklace itself is fake. Very good. Now, we've done the discussion, and who can give me a summarization in all the elements of the literary in fiction? Okay, I want to ask Miss Anna. Yes, okay, go ahead. Setting. Okay, plot. What else? You may now take your seat. I want to ask Mr. Jonathan. Okay. Mood, foreshadowing, irony, flashback, symbol, characters. Okay, thank you. Wow, very impressive. Any questions, clarifications, suggestions? None. Okay, now for the most awaited part for this class, I have a practice. Illustrate me. Now for this activity, you will be creating 6 panel stories board illustration in a story, The Cast of Amontillado. Now, there are papers in your table below. Yes, you can get that. And then, use that as a reference for writing the exposition, conflict, rising action, climax, falling action, and the resolution, with an illustration of what is the exposition for that story and so on. Okay? I will give you 10 minutes for this activity. Okay, time is up, and post it in your Google Classroom. Now, for the application, this is watch and write a story. This for this application, this is a story, a Filipino story, Footnote to Youth by Jose Garcia Villa, and then I provided a video. You can tap that link and then create a 2 to 3 paragraph using third-person point of view, the he, she. Okay? While making this activity, I want you to share your ideas with your classmates, but be sure to apply the literary elements as a Filipino learning in literature. Take note of that as a Filipino learners. Now, and I will give you another 15 minutes for this activity. Okay, time is up, and I will check your works later. Now I'm very proud to you because you finished the practices and the application for today's lesson. Now, finally,